Let's go into Ides. So we've got a fair number of guests on today. Welcome, everyone. Ides of Monday. It's when in TRG we do a quick look at the upcoming week. We call it the Ides of Monday, as in beware the Ides of Monday. Yeah, it can be a disastrous trading day if you don't approach it with the right mindset. The market has reopened for the week. The reopen on a Sunday and the cash reopen on a Monday is different. We've been closed for a couple of days. On top of that, we've had Thanksgiving, so there's been two short sessions as well. The market has pent up whatever, supply, demand, indecision, who knows, and information to assimilate. So
there's lots of that today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar for this coming week.
Yeah,
it's month end. Tomorrow. No, Wednesday. Hello, use all the fingers.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
Toes too.
Yeah. Hal is speaking on Wednesday, I noticed. Yep, Hal is speaking on Wednesday. Thursday.
You also have GDP on Wednesday.
Oh, of course, yes. Thursday is a whole bunch of stuff. We've
got stuff, and then NFP Friday.
Yeah, so I can imagine a kind of subdued but sweepy Monday and Tuesday this week. While things get squared off and the aftermath of the holidays is dealt with, then with the influx of information we're going to get from on Thursday and Friday, we could easily find new areas and new extremes. Now, overnight, what's interesting, we have gapped down slightly. It's only about a point, but we have opened, leaving a visible to lots of people gap above the overnight high. We have also traded down and nibbled into a bunch of single prints below us. And, where are we now? We're in the middle. Fantastic. So hard to say right now which direction we're going to traverse. Are we going to head north or are we going to head south? But at the overnight extremes, or at and beyond, there are some very clear areas where lots of people are going to play. People are going to be looking for the gap fill and seeing if it continues or if we fill in reverse. We've got the single prints below us down to, 93 quarters. Are they going to resolve? Do we continue down? Do we reverse? We won't know until we get there. But the interesting trades today are going to be when we are clearly en route to those areas, getting in with that direction on any pullbacks. And once we're near those edges, looking to see what happens. And then we're looking to either reverse back into the range or continue. What's it going to be? Don't know. But these are the areas that are going to be interesting for us to look at. Anything else until the picture becomes clear is pretty much guesswork right now. It's my take. We'll have a quick look at the volume at price above us and below us. There's the gap you can see on my session footprint. 2-tick gap, but it's still a gap. Not a price trajectory. Sorry, it's a price trajectory at the high. Not a price trajectory at the high. With 4 contracts adrift, 17 versus 21. So it's not quite there at the high. And the low has UB. It's interesting. We've got a pretty meaty chunk of negative delta, though. It's 3.25. Similar shape below us on NQ as well, around 686. Not looking to call any direction, frankly. Okay, there's UB to be resolved at the low. But that's not to say we don't go up to the overnight high, fill the gap, then come down and deal with it.
Don't forget, unless I'm missing it, on my TPO view, I'm seeing 4-week highs at the highs too, from last week, like just above 48 and like 46-ish.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking beyond the overnight high at the moment.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, if we get through that overnight gap, that then those get interesting. We were talking about this.
We can head up, but if we look at the profile, we're just about sitting on top of that last bit of consolidation, say around 39.90.
Yep.
That holds. Then finding out the thing is, these weak highs above us, we did have excess there. If we go back a few days to mid-month, 14th.
Yep.
So we've got a tail there. It's the edges of the range are clear to see. which edge is going to be in play? You can't say.
Yep.
So we're in the middle right now. You just got to wait for a direction to emerge, go with that direction, be mindful where the near-term edges are, which right now is overnight high and overnight low. But it's clear, just beyond that by a point or so in either direction, there's somewhere to watch. And then the extremes of the range are, let's say 40, 50, and probably that low consolidation area. But that's, a fair way down. That's could take a day or two to get down there. 39.40, 39.12, 39.10. But I will be sitting on my hands, especially on Monday, waiting to see which direction we seem to want to go in. It is too early to call it right now. You're guessing, and that's not the point of what we do. That's about it in terms of my take on what we're seeing. The gap on NQ is bigger. No, is it bigger? Yeah, it's bigger. That's quite tempting. But other than that, wait and see. That's my plan for this morning. What about you, Jeff?
Well, hedge fund call was interesting. I wasn't on last week, but I was on this morning, and interesting conversation. It just is important. I know these people. I know who's talking. So, a little bit of context. There's 16 of us at the most. Typically, there's sometimes one or two more than that. Of the 16 people that are on the call, I'm a fly on the wall. There's 5 that are significant desks at major investment banks. There's 6 or so that are significant desks at major family funds, $1 billion or bigger family funds. And then there's a couple of guys that are just rich, Brahmin, I call them. Like one is a child of a very successful businessman in Shanghai and just trades his own money. And so we get interesting perspectives. That's why I wanted to give you the context of it. And so, of course, all the guys at the investment banks this morning are like, fourth quarter is not looking great. And it's the month end. There's going to be window dressing between today and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Everybody's expecting that. If there's going to be seasonal strength and a Christmas rally, it should start right now. If it doesn't, that's concerning. And so everybody's in bonuses, question mark. All the guys at the investment banks are. Obviously, the family funds and the individual traders don't operate that way. But this is interesting because last year everybody bought yachts. It was a record year on Wall Street. Everybody made the most money they've ever made. And this year, most funds aren't profitable or they're right at the edge. So there's a lot of guys worried about their jobs. And guess what happens when that's the case on Wall Street? They trade aggressively because they have nothing to lose. So this could be a very interesting week for that reason. That was kind of our theme. And we had a little vote on Christmas rally or not, and it was dead even. Everybody, half the people, no, we're not going to get one. Half the people said, we're going to get one. Just be patient.
So flip a coin.
Flip a coin. Yeah. And again, these are not insignificant traders. And everybody's really interested mostly in NFP on Friday because the fourth quarter quad witching is going to be brutal. The next FOMC, do they continue to raise or at the rate they've been, which is historically the fastest ever, or do they slow it down a little bit? What's the message from that? And so, think about this. If you're getting a piece of a fund as your earnings for the year, pretty much, that's how it works. What do you got to lose pushing it right now? Either way, the last thing you're going to do is trade light. So it was a very interesting conversation. We'll see how it plays out.
Cool. A question for you. Oh,
cool.
I had a question for you, Lee, actually, if you want to change gears for a second.
I can try to answer it.
All right. I was just curious. I noticed on your platform right now, your chart book, you've got trade windows open on the left-hand side, and I never see you have trade windows open. So I thought I'd ask.
You are seeing things correctly. Why have I got the trade windows open on this?
You can't remember.
If you don't know, that's definitely a problem.
I think because I had this chart book pointing to a particular account with a very small balance in it. So I was really monitoring balance. That was why.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Darn. I was hoping it was something a lot more exciting.
No, nothing other than that. Plus there was space. to do it.
You got to use up those horizontal pixels.
And I know I've been asked to share this chart book in the pit, which I'm going to do a little bit later today. Somebody was on the fishing trip last week and they liked these fast charts, so I'll be dropping it in the pit a little bit later.
Can you drop your daily SLLS in as well, just for convenience's sake?
It's in this chart book.
Okay,
so
cool.
These are all detached windows, and then the main window has got...
Right. There it is. Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, that's in there. So I will do that before the day is out.
Awesome.
We should talk about the week ahead in TRG, because last week was slightly disrupted. Why don't you take us through the calendar, JVC?
Sure. So slight change of pace for this week, as Lee mentioned, because of the holiday last week. Last week. Same thing. And that is that last Thursday's stuff has moved to tomorrow, Tuesday. So tomorrow is going to be the fishing trip. I think, God, this might be the first time we've ever had a fishing trip on a Tuesday. Not sure, but I think it might be. Tuesday fishing trip this week, and then Tuesday liquidity class and market profile, poor highs, poor lows setups class. So join us for those two, especially if you haven't already been through one full cycle of the monthly structural syllabus. And if you have, of course, feel free to join us for refresher as well.
Yeah, they're the last in the cycle for the month, aren't they, those two classes?
That's right, they are. Yeah, those are the final two. So we will start, in fact, right on cue. December is, oh my God, December is, wow. December is here. Oh my God, what happened? We're going to start a whole fresh syllabus again, although next month, obviously being December, we've got some holiday stuff going on as well. So there's going to be a little bit of calendar shenanigans going on.
So can you continue with so Wednesday, are we having a dojo?
So that was actually the next thing. Exactly. Dojo this week. Actually, Darren is going to be, as he has just posted in the pit, he's going to be on a plane to Hawaii. Oh, everybody cry a little for poor Darren. He's going to be, spending some time in Hawaii. Poor guy. So he will not be doing dojo this week. Although if people want to, if there's a topic anybody wants to kick around for a little while, whatever, I'm happy to host the session so we can discuss that in the pit. If anybody has got ideas for anything you'd like to discuss with me, it can be really anything. It doesn't have to be any of our usual dojo material, but throw it in the pit. We can certainly discuss it. We've also got an ad hoc session this week. We've got NFP with Jeff on Friday. So if you like scalping craziness, news events and stuff like that, join us for that. Are we doing that public as we so often do, Jeff?
Yeah, we'll make that one public. And we also have the close on Friday. But back to Wednesday real quick.
Readathon.
If you could, if you could move it, because I know it's the same link, but if you could put it up on the calendar so everyone knows it'll be there. The ETF hour that was supposed to be on the 21st.
Hang on, we're getting confused. We're doing the Funded in a Day on Wednesday.
Right. I know that's there too.
So as far as the calendar goes, I can't move anything. That's what breaks Zoom connections if I move anything on the calendar, but I can post it in the pit and just remind everybody, use your same link, same everything, just at this time and date. How's that? Okay,
is this Funded in a Day going to go that long? I'm looking at the calendar. It's scheduled for like 3 hours.
It might. I think it depends on Lee. I don't know.
Is that the plan, Lee? What?
I'm hoping it doesn't.
Oh, I see. It's just a question of, all right, got it. All right, then we'll make an announcement about the ETF hour. I wanted to get it in sometime this week. It doesn't have to be on Wednesday. I just saw a gap there. So we'll announce that in the pit what we're going to do. It's a good week for the ETF stuff because going into December with quad witching and the fact that we're back in a range, there's actually some good triple ETF setups. So watch the pit for the announcement for that, and we'll get that done.
So that's the other, as we were just mentioning, Funded in a Day. That's the other particularly fun thing going on this week is on Wednesday. Lee is going to flex a bit and see if he can blow through an eval in a day. Is this? Are you going the easy road, Lee, and doing a 25K eval, or did you go for something bigger?
I've got it. Well, the 25s aren't necessarily easy.
Yeah, true. Good point.
So I have got a spare 25K Elite floating around. I took it from their pre-Black Friday deal, and I've got one of those that is crisp and untraded with a 25K balance in it. And having done a couple of evals, really quickly earlier this year, Although granted, they were 50s with, crazy size available, 10 lots, 12 lots. This could be a bit more challenging than 3 lots, but we'll see. 3 lots, 500K drawdown on it. No, 1,500. 1,500 drawdown.
500K? Wow, nice.
So we'll see. We'll see. We'll start pre-open. We'll start cautiously, but if we start to get a move underway and can either hammer a level or scalp around a position, we'll see what goes on. So I'm happy to do this for, an hour, 2 hours, if conditions are there, and we'll see what happens. I'm not going to go balls out and kill the eval just because who cares. But if conditions...
This isn't YOLO.
No, if conditions are there and a move's underway and can start to use size on this, we'll see if we can do it. I've done a couple in 30 minutes in the past, which were 50s when there was a good move. We'll see what happens. It'll be a bit of fun.
This will be definitely a lot of fun. It's not something that we usually get to see Lee do and spend potentially this much time on a single session. I'm sure he's hoping it doesn't go 3 hours. He's got other things to do, but who knows? We'll see. But this is going to be a public session. So if you've got friends or, family, enemies, anybody who's been curious or interested in what goes on here and you want to invite them to that. So we've got Lee's public session on Wednesday and then Jeff's public session on Friday. So this is a really good week. If anybody's got anybody waiting in the wings who's been wanting to get a taste of what TRG is all about and watch Jeff and Lee do their things, this is the week for it. So feel free to invite away.
And we could invite the Bish.
Yeah. So why do I have a feeling he wouldn't take you up on that? I don't know.
No, he wouldn't learn anything because his mentor was trained by the CME.
And I'm a ducking fix, so there we go.
Yes. So anyway, that's the week in TRG. It's going to be a lot different from usual, but should be a lot of fun. And we'll wind out the month in style, and it'll be a good time. So see a lot of you hopefully at the various public events. If you are not a TRG member, and if you are a TRG member, well, then of course we'll see you at the events because you're on everything because you're all crazy like me. So I think that is it. We can go about our business and get ready pre-open. Anything else? Last stuff from you guys?
I would just say to everyone, stay super frosty this morning because we're in the middle and the edges are very tempting, but we're not near the edges and we don't know which ones we're going to be near.
Sage it should be interesting as ever.
It should be very interesting for the jigsaw session this morning. Because
yes, that's right. That's the one later this morning. Thank you. I totally skipped over that. Yes, scalping with jigsaw later this morning.
It's right at the IB, so it should be very interesting today. I'll probably run it on my main monitor, so we can kind of watch the context. So
the main
the domes. Is that your domes only, Jeff?
No, that's the domes and the couple of reference charts. Yeah, I still don't have Boolenex connectivity, which is what runs on the domes only one, but I can run another one through there. I just have to change the connection. I don't know if I want to do that until I hear back from them.
Gotcha. Cool.
I figured out what I think went wrong there, so hopefully.
Well, I'm just trying to log into my Boolenex and see if I can log in.
Everyone at the Sunday could log in, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I have 2 funded accounts there. I think what happened is one of my old evals fell off, and I think that might have been, what they thought was the primary one. This happened with them once before. It's just their back end isn't very sophisticated. Hopefully that's what it is. We'll see.
Always work on your back end, folks. Advice from Jeff. All right. I think we'll leave it there and
particularly
go do
after
our
Thanksgiving,
things.
Always work on your back.
Especially then. Exactly. All right, cool. Then we'll see everybody soon. And, again, we're going to do the scalping jigsaw later this morning, and then we'll pick up tomorrow with Lee's structural stuff. So see you all then. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.